So Arsenal, they are the talking point on possibly winning the Premier League this season, which if you had said that in the beginning of the season, you may have gotten a few folks that would agree with you, but most likely everyone would have laughed you out of the room because there was Manchester City, there was Chelsea with Tuchel, but obviously we know how that went. There were other clubs such as Manchester United, Tottenham, all these clubs obviously had their, I would say, spotlight to win the Premier League, but really, Arsenal have been the clear favorites, which obviously we've seen. They were 8 points ahead of Manchester City, who sit in second place. Manchester United 1 point behind them. But really, Arsenal have done a phenomenal job so far this season. Now, we are only halfway through the season. There are still plenty of games. Arsenal have to play Manchester City 2 times yet this season, which that could be massive for both sides of the teams because if City can obviously win both those games, that narrows that gap fairly quickly for the most part. But if Arsenal can win one or if not both those games, that is going to just create this massive gap that I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch up to them. Yes, I know it is only 8 points right now, and there are still plenty of matches to go. But what Arsenal have done with what Mikel Arteta has done tactic-wise, this is a whole different Arsenal team than we've seen in the last decade. They are very strong in pretty much every aspect of the pitch. What we saw yesterday against Tottenham, they dominated Tottenham, and that's not the bad eye against Tottenham, who arguably are still a fairly good team sitting in 5th place. But to see that match, and Arsenal just steamrolled them through the entire match. Yes, they had maybe 1 or 2 opportunities, but to see first place against a 5th team, you expect there to be a little more balance, but it was all Arsenal in that entire match. And the same thing can be said about all their other matches they've had throughout this entire season, that they pretty much dominate each and every game that they play. They are able to implement Mikel Arteta's tactics each and every game. And again, we need to talk about him just by himself, how tactically genius he is. Yes, you could say he's got some of that from Pep Guardiola, but there is at times where he's just tinkering a few things that maybe I don't think some people see with the players on the pitch, bringing substitutions that are at the right time, the right moment, and bringing off the right players at the right time. And doing all these make a huge difference, which I wish I could say that for my club, but that is not happening currently, but I digress. Mikel Arteta is most likely, depending on how this season ends, is going to win Manager of the Season. And that's not even a question because what he's done so far already can almost warrant him that. Now, obviously, if Arsenal slide out of 4th position from 1st to 5th or something like that, then it's obviously a different situation. But what they've done is remarkable. The only thing that I think is going to be an issue for them are injuries. Now, we've seen other clubs pick up some big injuries, which obviously is always difficult for any team and any manager. We look at City. Ruben Diaz has been out for I'm not even sure how long. He was the cornerstone in their defense. The fact that he's not been playing for quite some time makes a huge difference. The same can be said about Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk. He has not been the same this entire season. I don't know what's happened to him. Obviously, he has a hamstring injury now, but because of that player, their whole defense has been off as well, even including their CDMs, Fabinho. So again, there's been players, Chelsea, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, a few players we can name there, and the list can go on and on for other clubs. So the fact that Arsenal have been very fortunate, which again, that comes down to their training, their physios, all that. So they've been doing the right things to make sure their players are staying healthy. So let's at least give applause to that. But if they do pick some type of freak injury up, not just to Gabriel Jesus, who has been out for a while, but say to Odegaard, who's been their just gel in their midfield. If that player goes out hurt, it makes a whole different squad for Arsenal. Now, yes, I know they have depth. They can bring other players into that midfield, but no one can replace what Odegaard has been doing for Arsenal this season. The guy has just stepped up and playing so much better each and every season at Arsenal, and it's fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy watching him score goals outside the box. The assists he makes, the passes, the way this guy plays is just phenomenal. And I think Mikel Arteta has gotten the best of him. On top of him, the other player who I think can actually be a huge issue if he goes out injured, and maybe people are going to disagree with this, but is Ben White. Yes, the right back who used to be CB, playing in the right back. He's shut down so many things on the left side for any team that's playing against Arsenal. I don't think most people even realize this when they're watching games with how well he's been doing, but that's the thing. He's done so well that you don't even realize how well he's doing because nothing's even happening on his side. And I think if he goes out injured or has a long spell where he doesn't play well and starts leading the goals on that side, that could be a huge issue for Arsenal. But I Don't see that happening anytime soon unless there's some type of freak injury, but still, that is going to be the main concern for Arsenal because I think they obviously have the momentum going their way. Their players are fairly young, so I don't think they'll tire out this season. Yes, they have to play City twice, but I think they can beat City or at least draw one of those matches and keep that difference. And I think they can beat any other team in the entire league by just themselves. So therefore, this is definitely Arsenal's year to win it. Now, there is still half a season left to go. Obviously, anyone can go on just a crazy tear of a win streak and catch up to them, but really, it is Arsenal's time to win the Premier League. And being a Chelsea fan, I don't want to see them win, but obviously I don't want to see City or United win. So if it has to be Arsenal of the three teams, I would rather see Arsenal, even though it is a London club. I'm sick and tired of seeing City win the Premier League. I do never want to see United win the league. I can't stand the fans themselves, so I'm sure I'll get some hate in the video for this. But that being said, Arsenal are most likely the favorites, sitting at 51% to win the Premier League. So we will see what happens. So that is all I have for you today in this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate that. It helps get this video to more and more fans such as yourself. And also comment down below what you think on Arsenal's season so far, where you think they'll end up, where you think the whole league will end up. I want to know what you guys think. So that is it, and I will see you in our next video.